Hello, hello, hello. It's the Private Talk Podcast with Alexis Texas. We're back with another episode, and I am very excited to have businessman, comedian, and actor TK Kirkland on my couch. Welcome.
Hey, beautiful. How are you?
I'm doing well, and how about yourself?
It's a pleasure. I see a lot of class in you, young lady.
Thank you, thank you. I'm excited to have you as a guest. I've entertained by some of your thoughts and your way of thinking, and so I want you to educate my Private Talk listeners out there, because I feel like there's not enough men like yourself that actually tell it in a way that's not it's not judgmental. It's not, it's very clear, and it's a clear message that you can take it whichever way you want to.
Yes, ma'am.
And, I think that that's a gift that a lot of people don't have these days. And I feel like my Private Talk listeners would like to be educated by you. So give them your background. Let us know a little bit about you, and let's take it from there.
Okay, good. Well, I came up in Jersey City, New Jersey. Great background, bust my ass and everything I've done. Track star. A lot of people don't know I came up as a track star. I ran with some of the greatest runners in the world, Carl Lewis, Ronaldo Skeets, Nehemiah. So just some great young track stars who pretty much taught me the word never to give up. My high school we were just determined to win championships. And I'm going somewhere with this, determined to win championships. And that same DNA that was embedded in me as a kid, I still use it to this very day. People want to know why, being almost 60 years old, how do I get the energy to continue? And I tell people I was just born with it. It's in my DNA. I just like winning, and I love helping people. I always knew that it's not about how good I am as a stand-up comic. It's just whatever I do, I always try to be the best. And so when I used to meet people after going to college, getting my master's degree, even when I sold drugs and some of my friends went to prison, and I've always been lucky in everything I did. And I got into entertainment, but I always wanted to win. So ran into one of the coolest young men ever in the world to me. It was the late Eazy-E. And me and Eazy-E hooked up. He took me on my first national tour and didn't know then what I know now. I mean, who would ever thought that they would grow to be such a huge...
For sure, because it's they're coming up. You don't really know what it is. But it's excitement because you like their music.
We're just young kids. And I was older than them, so I moved different. So when they was fucking women in the room, I was a player, I get one chick, Chris style, I go in the room, door shut, I ain't having no orgy. Like I'm into treating women like queens, So after we did that, then I just ran into everybody, Teddy Riley and Guy, toured with them, met Damon Dash, and I hired Jay-Z when I was 35. I gave him $1,500 to do my birthday party. And then we went on the national tour, Hard Knock Life. Then I ran into Baby and Lil Wayne. We was like 16 years old, and did the movie Baller Blocking with them. Went on their national tour. Ran into another young man, did his movie, and never knew he was going to blow up to be this big. It was amazing. And Vin Diesel, I'm staying in Sheraton Universal right now. I'm on the elevator. This motherfucker on the door.
Yeah.
On the elevator coming down. I'm like, what the fuck? I remember this motherfucker was just starting out.
How does that make you feel knowing that you've, since they're starting out and how big of stars they are? Do you still have relationships with these people that you have? Because, it's all walks of life, and, people all grow up and you never know if you keep in contact with these people or.
What I'm seeing, that I never knew everybody had this much love and respect for me. And it's just an awesome feeling that the internet changed my life, right? Because we were just talking about before we got on the air.
Yes, how the internet's changed the world.
See, I always had money, but I didn't have the connections. And I always put people on, but nobody knew which way I was going. And I've always been a boss. What I mean by that is I've always wanted to be independent. Mm-hmm. And that means everything to me. Because when you've gone through so much, dialing this person's number, meeting this person, flying across the country, flying across the world to be let down, you get tired of this shit. And I never got burnt out. And it's the fans, the people who listen to me now, will see me in the street and say, "Oh my God, you are fucking hilarious." And all the comedians know. Every comic in the world knows that I'm that dude on that mic. So I just kept swinging. My street dudes just always tell me, keep swinging, champ. Sooner or later, you're going to get a knockout. Then I always had another young man, Eric Von Zip out of Harlem. French, you remember Eric Von Zip? Oh, yeah. That was my, we used to be roommates, when we was hustling back in the day. And Eric Von Zip used to always say, the niggas who get the money later get more money than the niggas who get it earlier. So here we are sitting with this beautiful lady. Then I got into management. I put a lot of people on, from Mike Epps to D.L. Hughley. Finally dropped my special on Amazon because, people were so brainwashed. They want to do HBO. They want to do Netflix.
Because it's just the name, the brand. They don't know what that really means when it comes to dollars and cents in the back mind of it all, because it's really not what it all appears to be. It's shiny and gold is usually not the best way to go.
Being empowered to me is everything. I ain't got to call no executive. I'm the executive. I know the date that I want to put out my special. And like right now, it's the #1 special in the world on Amazon.
Congrats. That's a big accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And what people don't know.
It's cool to have that, like you said, like the entrepreneurship, you don't know where all those struggles, like where it went to, but the hard, when that pays off and when you get that satisfaction of knowing that you were always going to be a boss, but you didn't know what that was going to really mean.
Yes.
But it just comes into its own light.
Right. And just being independent, and I try to teach people the game of independency. See, don't get me wrong, I'll take a check from Netflix. But once they pay you, you have no more control. Well, the great thing that people don't know about Amazon is when you put your special out and it does well, you get a piece of the revenue for the month. So they make millions of dollars. You get a taste of that. At least that's my deal. You
hear that, Private Talk?
Yeah, so people need to understand. I always try to go the opposite direction everybody else go. If everybody's going left, I'm going to go right. At first, I thought I was crazy, not following the lead. I never did Def Jam or anything like that. I just really did my thing. I just really wanted to be me, So when I'm on stage, I wear the hat to the side, the T-shirt, the jeans. I'm not trying to dress up like Steve Harvey or DL, Even though I could, I get sharp on the ass in a minute.
Ooh, but kill him.
I want to show the tattoos and they call me the jewel dropper, the leg spreader, because the knowledge is so cold and information that women want to fuck, but they're not knowing that I'm almost 60 years old. That all you getting from me is snuggles.
Snuggles. So no more fucking at 60. You're just snuggling.
No, I still can fuck. I could have been a porn star, and you get jokes at the same time. Yeah, but you learn how to manage your energy.
Okay.
Because when you can fuck that good, you just don't want to give everybody the proper dick stroke.
See, I am different. I could fuck that good, and I wanted to get everyone to show how great I was, because I want to make a name for myself. Right. If I was going to do it, I was going to go big and not go home. Now,
I'm going to explain something to you what that means now. See, that means you're under 30 or under 35.
I'm 34. Thank you very much. So, I'm applause myself because I know I look good. Thank you,
Private
Talk Podcast out there.
I'm going somewhere with this. I'm going somewhere with this is what I'm saying.
I'm listening.
See, when you're under 34, you're still exploring life. See, everything you do is a puzzle. Every step you take is building a foundation, right? Facts. So we're going to call them your explore years, a.k.a. these your whole years.
My 30s or under 30? From like the time I started fucking until 34?
Yeah, everything from 21 to 36 is the official.
Those are official hoe years? Wow, you heard it here first, Private Talk. The official hoe years is 21 to 36 years old.
Yeah, now watch what I'm about to tell you now. If you're hoeing over 36, you're not good at what you're doing.
Okay.
See, because the hoe is to pull the right man into your life for security. Because so much goes with planning. Watch where I'm going now.
I'm following.
Most women don't plan.
Okay.
They just fuck, not understanding. Let me think about my future, because when you're 50, 60 years old, you have to have structure. Right? You have to have money. You have to have security, as they used to say when we was growing up. And women don't think that far down the field. So you see so many beautiful women that's gorgeous at 45, 50. Have no security bonds, no life insurance policy, no benefits. All they get is an occasional dick and a drink.
That ain't fun for anybody.
Now,
I secured the bag. I secured the bonds. I secured it with my fucking though. So I'm a little bit different.
See, but it's good.
Am I a percentage? Am I like a 2%er or what?
Right. But what we're trying to do, then some people get lucky in this universe. But this is not about you.
I don't believe in luck.
Yeah, but this is not about you. Let's stay. It's important that we share.
You're building blocks. Private Talk wants to know.
We want to share.
But I'm trying to say relevance because some of it is, I get where you're going, and this is a mass thing. But for me as a woman, you're grouping a whole category of women into one thing of why we don't do such things.
No. What we're doing is giving knowledge.
Yes.
And people, my job here today is to give the information. It's up to them how they process it. Right? We give information because what we're doing now, since I'm much older, and you said you're 34, and I'm almost 60, my goal on this earth is to drop knowledge.
I like that.
You understand?
Dropping
So
jewels.
people will take your perspective, right? They'll take my perspective and things you've done in the past to now and say, you know what, I really like what this brother was saying because we really need to hear this. We need to hear a man that can take a woman by her hand and really make her more of a queen.
I respect that.
Yes.
Okay, so when we don't plan, so what is there after 36 plan? What is?
Well, everything is just really about planning. So even though you was talking about how now pussy is powerful if it falls into the wrong hands, right? But pussy is dangerous to mostly all men in the universe. That's why sexual harassment is on a high level. Men are going to prison over this type of thing because most men don't have conversation. If most men took the time to get to know the young lady about to fuck, I guarantee you they wouldn't fuck them.
Facts.
Because after you fucking, you be like, bitch crazy. Or so many different levels, you know, you like, God damn, yo, T, this bitch crazy.
So how do you think you navigated your way throughout the pussy and in keeping on a straight track of keeping where your persistence is today?
I respect what you're saying, and it wasn't good for me. I was one of the people who had to roll the dice and make mistakes as we go on. But that's why if you haven't been through anything, you can't teach nobody nothing, right? So I've been through this. So my goal is if I could just get one person out of 100,000 other people that listen to your show, I've done my job because I get tired of watching the news and seeing men going to jail over sex because I'm tired of seeing Bill Cosby getting locked up, all the celebrities and not know how to navigate. And what I used to say is that, see, I came up in an era where we knew how to, I'm going to say it so I keep it real, we knew how to mac bitches. Mm-hmm. You know, we macked you. It was a word called seduce. You talk to the young lady.
Seduce with your word.
Yeah, seduce and take her out to eat. And everything was about the ambiance, the lifestyle. You're going to treat a woman right. But people fucking easy now, right? You got men getting money at a certain level, so they pay for it, right? Agreed. Or give a woman drugs. And she fucking and have that. But the woman is not getting substance from the man because you gotta, when you leave, you have to learn through life so that you don't make the same mistakes. You know, there's some women in this world who are just built for beauty, but not to raise a family. Mm-hmm. But men make the mistake to have children with this person. But I call it most women and some men are not properly prepared to be in the universe. Like your parents sent you into the universe unprepared. No money, no education, don't know how to wash dishes, don't know how to control the climate of the room, right? So as you get older, through experiences, through your friends, believe it or not, your friends are so powerful because they could either take you a direction of failure, drugs, and confusion, or they can enhance you to become a better person. And then sex is so powerful based on the person. Look what's going on in London with the girl and Prince Harry. Mm-hmm. Now, you know, he should have never married her. He stuck his dick in her, lost his damn mind. Now you think that's all because of the power of the pussy? Because he got hooked. And, yes. And everybody who's listening got one of them stories. Yes. A crazy baby mama or a crazy baby daddy. But because of how he was raised, he gonna stick with the bitch. Because it's honor. This is my wife. Mm-hmm. They never had no problems before. And this is an uproar in motherfucking palace. Like, we ain't never seen this shit. For sure. So you know it's her. Mm-hmm. That's real Nobody want to tell the truth. Shit for this them. Bitch went in there and caused motherfucking confusion. Because that's nigga mentality. I don't care what nobody say. She started this bullshit. and he should have married someone that was in that line of lifestyle.
I can respect that.
You know what I'm saying?
So with that being said, are you yourself married? How do you feel about
No, I don't believe in marriage.
You don't believe in marriage?
No.
Why don't you believe in marriage?
I just think it's not natural.
Do you have a partner that you've been with a long period of time, or you just don't believe in being with because some people, they say don't believe in marriage, but they still have a unity of some type of bond.
The women who I date better hope I wake up the next day they got a shot.
That they have what?
They have a shot.
That they have a shot. Hey.
No, I'm for real.
I see it in your face. I see
I'm for real.
Not fucking around. But that's the thing that, to me, I feel like that's what's part of like the grown, like sexy, whatever. You know what you want, you know what you don't want, and you're respectful, and you're not going about it in a way. I feel like a lot of things that you're saying with like why I liked having you here and to like bring the knowledge out in like the respectful way that you do is the fact is it's communication. People are afraid to talk about taboo subjects, even though they're willing to do it, but they're not afraid. They're not willing to listen and just talk about it with their friends or with their partner, which is really like taboo and like ironic. And it should be the opposite way. And that's where I feel like the miscommunication comes, and a lot of more problems arise that shouldn't if it would have been talked about in the beginning.
But here's the main problem, right? Most people don't know who they are. Most people lie. In
those years that you're talking about, I agree with that as well. Because between 21 and 36, I've thought I was a lot of different things, and I've grown up, and some things are still similar in certain things, but it's just different, you know?
Yeah, I see it. You have a lot of woman about you, and it's coming. Like, you're just getting started.
Thank you.
You know? But
just getting started.
Most people are liars to themselves. They think they should be married. They marry somebody. They think they're not happy.
It's like the idealism of what people put in your head.
Exactly, because we all are influenced, right? You know, you see somebody on TV and they got a nice pair of shoes. Ooh, that influenced you to go get that. You see a sandwich. You're influenced to get that, right?
Yeah.
So in relationships, since we talk about relationships, it's you think you should be married. That ain't for everybody. And most people will put themselves in that situation. Later on, find that they're not happy, depressed. Sometimes they become cheaters. The girl is depressed, and women get tired too, you know. And they try to hold tight to that relationship because it is what. And I see some relationships that might be amazing, and some relationships they put on a good front in front of people, but behind closed doors, it's horrible. The greatest gift I can give to people is work hard to have peace of mind. And learn how to live by yourself before you want to live with somebody else. Like, learn to love you, learn to be by yourself, learn to, when you have those moments of I'm lonely or depressed, you know, you might want to get some dick, you know. But that was the moment you fucked the wrong guy and gets you pregnant. Now you're in child support court trying to track a motherfucker down to pay.
Yeah, that ain't me.
You know?
But I probably feel how it is. Because for me, I have been married. I'm divorced. And I've been divorced for over 5 years.
But you got married too young.
I did. And that's why I understand. I respect the whole thing of like how you change. And, you know, sometimes you change together. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes, you know, it's like you thought. For me, it was mainly because I thought I had to be married by a certain thing. And not by an age, but because of the profession I chose. I felt like I was... maybe A, it wouldn't have ever happened, or B, it was just like I needed to do it to prove a point to who I don't know, but I felt like that was like those stigmas. And so in my mind, you know, I don't regret getting married. I just feel like I chose the wrong person at those times because it was for the wrong reasons. But I knew it was wrong before I did it. I just didn't know how to relay that because
was he rich?
No,
okay,
it wasn't at all. And it was
so
because
you was stigmatized?
Partially, but we were in the same industry, so it was very like, you know, and I still, like, why I say I don't choose to say that I didn't think that I shouldn't be married was because I did love and have love for him and that whole ideal thing. But for me, I think that the timing, because of the age time, it was just I was rushing into an ideal of like what that fairy tale would never be because we weren't growing together, we were growing separately. And it's just sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. So like those years are very crucial years of knowing and just respecting and like in kind of seeing the difference of not just like acting. Like for me, I feel like people just react to react. Like you said, if they don't talk to that person that they're gonna fuck, but they just want to drink and give drugs and like be at this party. So then it becomes a whole other thing. And then the time that you communicate, you're just like, really? I really did this, and like, and then it's too late, you know. And so that's why for me, it's again, I will touch it once when it's hot, but I will put my hand back. So you gotta learn, you know. It's, you know.
I can't wait to see you when you're 40, 45.
Me either.
Like a lot of people think that's old, but it's not old. Like you're gonna be awesome.
Thank you. I
Yep,
appreciate
I'm telling
that.
you.
I feel like when I was younger, I was like, when you think about like, oh, I'm like 30, and I was like, man, that's so old. But now when you're 30, you're just like, I don't feel that at all.
Yeah.
It's like, I saw how you
Most
feel.
women are afraid to say they get old, but I'd say
I'm not. I felt comfortable.
I tell people, do you want to die today? And they're like, no. I say, well, embrace it.
Yeah.
Because the goal is to get as many minutes out of this motherfucker as you can.
That's true, and you never know. It could be tomorrow.
That's
it could
right.
be forever. You don't know. So yeah,
Get it all.
I don't mind any of that. So how do you feel with this day and age? With like how we said, how internet's like such a big thing. It's changed everybody's like world realistically, like work wise, and how much reach that we have. But how do you feel about like IG comedians, who aren't really like comedians of sorts, but they like preface themselves if they're doing monologue, whatever they're doing.
Right. I think that the world has just changed. And we are dinosaurs to a certain extent because we didn't come up that way. But the goal is you have to learn to change with the times. You know, who would ever thought that we on a cell phone we could watch somebody clear across on the fucking world and FaceTime them, right? And you just gotta learn to embrace it and try to find a way that you can win. Find out the just the strategies. Because most of those comedians have the audience, but they don't have the talent. Mm-hmm. My wish for them is that hopefully that they work hard at their craft and the talent would match the views and match the following that they have. And they got time. Most of these people are young. And the internet's only been around, maybe 10, 20 years at the most?
Yeah.
And so it's only going to get better. People are going to learn. And I'm just glad that we were here to see this change from. And
that we're benefiting from it.
Facebook,
exactly.
Google. Damn, who would ever think that? Amazon, who would ever? Netflix, like this shit, Uber Eats, this shit is insane.
It is pretty crazy.
Like you could actually sit home and somebody could bring you something from McDonald's.
You don't have to leave your house at all for anything nowadays. You
could see a motherfucker driving down the street, an app. You can see them coming. In 3 minutes, they go on their fucking way. This shit is motherfucking amazing.
It is pretty crazy. So next question I have is like nowadays, like because we're in such a like, I feel like, I don't know if vulnerable is the word, but so sensitive. How do you deal with like telling jokes now where people get so like offended easily? Does it affect the way that you approach things?
No, it doesn't, but I do find that interesting. Woo! Man.
It's, yeah.
Nobody really bothers me, I think, because of the respect of a man thing. But I see the sensitivity out there in the world, and it's just really crazy. And all the way down to bullying, right?
And I feel like people use that word so like loosely. Like,
bullying?
Yes.
Yeah, because I can't understand somebody could read something and say, I got bullied, and nobody touched you. Mm-hmm. Or people got bullied and want to commit suicide, you know? Like, parents have to start talking shit to their kids again. Are you young?
Because they got afraid.
Yeah, motherfucker. You got to talk to your kids. You got to call them nicknames and all that kind of shit to get them to practice, right? So when they in school, they got quick comebacks because they prepared. You know, all this love shit and hugging kids all the fucking time.
Everyone's a winner.
Right. And like then you got parents not being parents. They letting their boys put nail polish on and fingernail and skirts and shit. This shit is getting the fuck out of hand because parents are not parents. They're friends to their children. And you have to be hard on your kids and teach them and send them into the universe prepared. And if you could do that, you know, you've done something special.
Yeah, I feel like in this day and age, I feel like it's really hard because there's a lot of coddling going on.
Yes,
it's like everyone is like, but back in the day, like you had to make friends and go outside and play and make friends. Now you have set up play dates that you're made to be friends with someone. I feel like it's made like and that's trickling down even relationships. It made it like you don't work for it. It's like given to you. So
I just want men to talk and women to talk to each other, or you know, go outside and play. God damn, nobody go outside and play. Man, we was growing up, you see people double dutching and shit. That shit was the shit.
You a double dutch
playing football outside, and as you playing, a car come around the corner, and everybody say car, and step to the side, let the car go back, or you break your arm and you couldn't go to the hospital. And they were like, yo, we just need you for one more play. And we take you to the hospital. You dying. You done ran into a fucking 2,000-pound vehicle. Your ribs is crushed, your knees, all the way. But they need you. can't let your block down.
No.
This shit is crazy now.
Pride. That's pride.
That's crazy. But I have a question.
Okay, what is your question?
How do you think about the politics today between how the Republicans know that they're lying, stands up for Donald Trump?
You know,
and do you think that they stand up for Donald Trump, or do you see Donald Trump is a liar and you believe him? Or do you see, damn, he's a liar, and the Republicans on these congressional hearings yelling and screaming, defending this man?
Definitely think, obviously he's a liar. I think they're just trying to stay face, which I don't think is right. And I think that's why we're in the fucked up situation that we are in. And I kind of just try to stay out of that whole thing, which isn't, always the correct way to go about things.
And what I want to share, right? I'm going to tell you what the issue is, right?
It's crazy.
Because the stock market is amazing right now.
And that's why
that's why he's not out. We all about money.
Because he's making people the most money in America that they ever have. And so right now it's like financially, it's great for us. Yes. So that's why people aren't going to really make anything happen. And even from the impeachment, everyone thought that was going to be a big thing and he was going to get out right away. That's not how impeachment works.
Right, that's
so I feel like that's why people know surface government things, but they don't know like fully what it is. And or do they know that it's not going to readily ever happen. I don't believe he's ever going to be impeached because he's not going to allow that to happen.
It's going to be interesting.
Nor will any of these people that are backing him and standing up for him and screaming doing this is because they're making too much money for something that to go away.
I find it fascinating, I find it. But what I try to teach people in the universe, especially Afro-Americans, right, is that we're going to have one black president. And we all survived before Obama got into office. So the goal in this universe is to always understand opportunity. No matter who's in office, no matter what, find opportunities to truly be successful and find a way for your family or yourself or your children. Whatever hand that you've been dealt, you gotta learn how to play that hand.
All right, question for you. Is it true that you were locked up with Tupac at the same time?
Oh, yeah, I was Tupac, the Menendez brothers, and Rick James.
Do you have any good stories when you were locked up with them?
Yeah, I had to tell a
Share
joke.
With the
I had to tell a joke. And I was a young comedian, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to tell the joke.
So it was Tupac and the Menendez brothers and you all in a cell?
No, not in a cell.
Oh, all in the scene?
Yeah, we see when you're a celebrity, and you're in the LA County Jail, you are what they put you in called protective custody, PC.
Okay.
It's for people who's celebrities, but you can't be in general population. So we was all on a deck. We only could come out 1 hour a day, out 24 hours, take a shower, make a phone call. But it's huge, and everybody wanted me to tell a joke. And I was like, man, I'm fighting the case. I ain't telling no motherfucking joke. And they motherfuckers booed me. That's not funny.
Well, you didn't even tell a joke and you got booed.
I'm talking about I'm talking about boo.
Boo?
I'm talking about boo. I wound up telling the joke and they lost their motherfucking mind. I did this joke called, is this the bus to go to school? It was a joke I used to do back in the day. It's about a retarded kid going to the bus stop every day and the bus driver left. Because he would go to the bus stop and say, hey, is this the bus to go to school? And the driver would pull off. So after the third day, his mother came with him to the bus stop and asked the bus driver, why are you not taking my son to school? And the bus driver said, because he always making fun of me.
That's so... I mean, you gotta laugh. So Tupac laughed?
And they all laugh. What's funny, you can't see them. You see them, you protect everybody is on a deck. You just talk.
So they couldn't even see you and they were booing you before you told the joke?
You can hear it though.
It gave you
I'll never forget that shit.
It pumped your chest up to make you tell that joke.
I had to tell it. That's crazy.
That's funny.
That's crazy. Them motherfuckers truly booed the nigga and that motherfucker. It had to be like 200-300 people on that deck.
How many times have you been booed in your career?
Only twice.
Only twice? And that being
not
one of them?
Not because I wasn't funny.
And that being one of them?
Yeah. It wasn't because I was funny. What happened was sometimes you could be put in a bad situation because promoters have dancers or certain. And I remember coming out one time and thought I guess before 50 Cent came out, I had my little T-shirt and I was well built. And then
Were you wearing a vest?
No, just had a T-shirt on. And the situation was set up really bad. It was at the Celebrity Theater in Phoenix, Arizona, and got booed. So when I was telling people I had got booed because I had done so well in my career, people didn't believe me. And that was hilarious. You know, people didn't believe, like, yeah, right, whatever. But that's the only time I pretty much got booed.
Nice. So have you trademarked Who Raised You?
Absolutely.
Where did that come from? How did it come about? Like, how did...
Dating women who wasn't prepared to be in the universe. And I used to say to them, who the fuck raised you? And I remember it clicked because I was dating beautiful women like you.
Thank you.
And don't say thank you yet. And
hey, you called me beautiful. I can say thank you at the comments. Let me take them.
And I was like, when you talk to them, I was looking at motherfuckers like, who the fuck sent you into the world? Like, I need to meet your parents. I needed to know who sent you out here. Like, I think parents' responsibility is to make sure that when your child walk out that door, they are a great representation.
But what if after they leave their parents, they like go on and something else happened and that's not their parents' fault at that point?
No, I was telling you a story.
I'm trying to listen.
No, you took the story and changed it. I'm telling you a story. And the goal in this story is listen to comprehend, not listen to reply.
Okay. Look at you, dropping knowledge, Jules.
Ooh, jewel dropper, leg spreader.
But I like to always reply because it's private talk and it's my show, so I like to do fun things and respond back to it.
Yeah.
So
I think you're amazing. I would like
you.
to call you every day. I bet you'd be a different woman in 30 days.
I am a Gemini, so that's very true.
Yes.
I'm a different personality all the time.
Yes. And you never met a guy named T to the motherfucking K.
I did not until today. And I am
your
happy
life.
that you're on my couch to private talk
he
podcast
would change your life. Whatever your life is today, and this is how I used to, when I meet women, I always tell them in a year, your life will be better than it is today. Whatever your life is, then that's for all men. When you meet a woman, if you can't enhance her to make her a better woman, then you shouldn't bother her.
That is a good goal to have. Private talk, you listen to that knowledge right there. You should always want to better your woman.
Yeah, always want to better, you know? And see, most men, too, I just did this on my podcast, on the TK Kirkland podcast, by the way, just dropped on Monday. Executive producer Charlamagne Guy. This
Very
episode
cool.
is called How You Doing, Sister? And a young lady kept sending me these articles about men killing women, being upset because they was either jealous or insecure, whatever the reason is. And I read something the other day about a man beat the lady up and poured bleach in the baby's eyes.
Oh my God.
And what I want men to understand is control your fucking emotions. If the woman don't want you, it's other women. Like, come on, yo, you going to prison and you want to kill a girl because she don't like you? Like, this shit got to fucking stop. You understand what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like,
and I think that comes with the whole thing, like with like the whole stigma of like communication as well. Is like, I feel like today's society makes it cool, like portrayed to be mean to women or like degrade women or like do certain things where it's like, and not a lot of men anymore that open doors, they're respectful and just like treat a woman to like how a woman should be treated.
Yeah,
so I feel like
doors,
that's why I'm saying
in
it's
that.
like, you know, just the small things is like chivalry stuff, you know,
Yes.
like, you know, the
and
way
you have to balance it, right? Because you do meet women who are not, exactly. So you got to have that toughness in you, right?
And that's
Bitch,
why I
fuck
feel like
you.
now it's like why it's like there's no one in between. People,
Yes.
it's not a knowledgeable be like, I can be nicer without that person thinking they're gonna get taken advantage of. So it's just like it's across the like
Yes.
levels right
So
now.
how are you dating? How do you pick the
That's
guys
what I'm
that
saying
you
with
date?
me is that dating where I meet now for me is so hard and so weird because it's just that whole level. Like for me it's hard because one, I have a stigma that I don't know if they're trying to date Alexis Texas or they're trying to date me, and it's two totally different people.
Right.
And then the other part is like,
What happens if they don't know you? It's like, I don't know you. I just think you're an attractive
and
woman.
that's what I like. I want someone to know me and get to know me first and then learn all that other stuff and make your mind up before, you know, because I don't
Yes.
feel like my career didn't define me. It doesn't define who I am. It's just a part of what I chose to do and
Yes.
like a path that I went. So I like people to get to know me and who I am first. And then if it's because
how
I
do you
can't
feel like
listen
about-
and
'cause
I
I don't know-
reply
I
all
don't
the
wanna know
time
nothing
or
about
whatever
you,
it is
right?
and I can't talk, you know.
So
those
watch
things.
this. I don't know nothing about you. So let's say I don't ask you no questions about you. and I say, you know what, young lady, I find you extremely attractive. Can I get your number? And you think we can go out for dinner or have a drink? How would you feel about that?
Typically I would say I don't give my number out to anybody, so I'm probably going to have to decline.
Okay. And the two things
and
you
this
said.
is how, for me, is why my problem in dating before you say those things, is that regardless of who the person is, I already have a wall up, and it's me because I'm always like, what do you want from me? Not doing anything like that. So maybe I want to, but it's like more for me, I feel like it has to be a little bit more of a challenge at first. And if that's right or wrong or indifferent, who knows?
So this is what I mean by when I say you're going to be awesome in about 7 years, right? Watch where I'm going. I said to you prior to that everything was about, sometimes people listen to reply, not to comprehend. So when I said to you, I don't want to know nothing about you. And then I said, so what do you feel if I asked you out? Your question was, what does he want from me? That's why I said to you, I don't want to know nothing about you, right?
That's what I wanted heard.
So what I want to say to you is that the next time a man approaches you and says, hello.
Hello, Miss Lady.
Thank you. And just because they may not know who you are. So give them a chance to get to know you, and you might see something that you pretty much like, because in your head already, you think this person knows you. Like, I don't know you. And other people may not know you, but what I want you to say, unless they say your name. Give me an example. I was on the Angela Yee show. You ever heard of Angela Yee? So there was a young lady on the show, and during the commercial break, the young lady said, oh, TK, you tried to talk to me. I sat there and listened, and I was like, okay. We went to commercial break. So Angela, who's like my little sister, said, TK, so did you try to talk to this young lady? I said, what happened? She said, oh, I saw you in the airport. You sat down next to me, asked me for my phone number, and you invited me to your comedy show. And I said, no, babe, I wasn't trying to talk to you.
I was inviting you to my show.
I'm a gentleman. I was inviting you to my show. So that's what I want you to understand, too, that it's good to feel that you're this person, but you're so nice. I want you to bring that person up later and just be you, unless they say your name.
See, I agree with all of that, and I think the stigma comes internally. It's not because I think that they know who I am. It's just in general, like any man talking to me, if they know me or not. I think it's just like, I don't know, maybe it's because, I don't know. I think it's just the stigma of all of those things built up, but I get what you're saying is that I think I'm more afraid because at the same flip side of how men, that I think men or whatever, it could be the same vice versa to me, that they think that I'm a bitch because I won't talk to them when I say this, that, or the other. It's just for me, I have insecurities as well. As so because of all my stigmas, if it's because I was Alexis Texas or just me without having that in there, I think I'd still be the same person or like that same feeling at this point in my life because of me going through a divorce and figuring out who I was, like refining myself again and coming back into all those things has a play with why I maybe feel a little bit insecure when men approach me and not think they just want something besides fucking me.
Right. Okay. So how about also here's what I think about celebrities and stars, that the stars today really think they're celebrities, right? And when I watch people and I see what they're doing, people really could take something this small or something other and think they're bigger than what they are. Mm-hmm. And when I say I've been around some of the greatest stars in the world, I understand it. What I try to do is give people an opportunity to balance things out. Mm-hmm. If you could balance things out and not think you're a celebrity, just get the money, take care of your family. Because what is really all this? We got microphones in front of us, right? And people listening to us and they think that we are stars. But I tell people every day, everybody's a star, Like if you didn't even know who you was and you see how beautiful you are, right? You can go outside, walk down the street, people blow the horn at you. God damn it. Who the fuck? That's a celebrity. A guy who's handsome, walk down the street, no shirt on, and girls see him. She might not say anything, but look, she's attracted to the guy. Yeah. So I think everybody is a star. And I just hope that, You understand what I'm trying to say?
You hope that I'm gonna be the next man that comes and asks me to have a drink and just let it be the approach.
I don't want to be a crazy guy, but
true. But my mom always says, she's like, you have the best resting bitch face. You're never gonna get a man if you're like that. I'm like, I just do it because I don't want to talk to anyone on purpose because I talk to people all the time.
Yeah,
I am approachable. I am nice, but I feel like I have big walls. But once they're down, I'm the coolest, nicest person ever.
Yeah, I could tell you wonderful. That's you don't get to be my age and be a dummy.
Fact.
That's true.
I'm not there yet, but I want to get there. I'll let you know.
And I want you to make it too. I hope I'm still here.
All right, I have. I want to know about the 5 doctors in Detroit.
Oh, you've been studying.
I have.
Been doing your research.
I have. This is a private talk podcast, so I want to know private information about you. Don't hold back.
Fucked 5 doctors. It was a wonderful time. I didn't have a condom on.
All at one time. Tell private talk.
No, everybody. They were friends.
They were all friends.
And I seduced all 5 of them, and everybody waited their turn.
So it was like they came in the door, knocked on the door. Like, lay it out.
They came to the show, and I had another show after that show. And then I did that show, and then we all went to gamble down at the casino in Detroit. And then I had a beautiful penthouse, and I forgot the name of the hotel. They came up, we drank, we talked. And I was talking so much mess, I started eating one of their girlfriend's pussy right there on the bed. And everything led to the other. And one girl was cheating on her husband. He's a cop. She got pregnant. And then the other girl, her friend got pregnant. They both got pregnant the same day.
Nice.
Yeah, I was awesome.
So 2 kids later.
No, they didn't have the kids. One got an abortion, the other one had a miscarriage. Thank fucking God, that bitch is crazy.
You had a real great family Thanksgiving time.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing.
So was that the craziest sex story you've ever had?
No, one of my crazy sex stories, I had sex with a girl in Chicago, and she wouldn't go to sleep. I'm laying in the bed and looking out the corner of my eye like, why this bitch ain't going to sleep?
This is after you've already had your session, both of y'all came, and she's just staring at you?
Fuck the hell out of that girl. I'll never forget it.
I'll never forget it.
Yeah, because I got a cramp on my shoulder.
Uh-oh. Not the cramp.
So I'm looking at her like, why this bitch ain't going to sleep? So I woke up and I said, is everything okay? She said, look, TK. She says, I'm pregnant and you should give me the money for the abortion now.
What?
So this bitch got pregnant in 30 minutes. I took her by her arm and walked her to the door after she got dressed and called security downstairs to tell them what had happened because I stayed at the Hilton all the time. But yeah, that was crazy.
That
situation.
sounds pretty crazy, and I like the truth here that you're giving me, the private talk couch here.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is a great segue into one of my favorite segments of the show. It's called Truth with Texas. So are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Are you sure you're ready?
Yes, I am sure.
There you go. I like that radio voice. All right, here we go. All right, let's see what you get.
Ace of Spades.
Ace of Spades. That's one of mine. It's my naughty question.
Okay.
So Truth with Texas. We want to know, do you like your oral sex sloppy or clean?
It depends on the young lady. If I had 3 women in 1 week, I like variety. So one would have to be sloppy. The other one would just be texture. And the other one would have
Explain texture to us.
Texture is when you don't put your whole mouth on the dick. It's just like your lips is just going, like your mouth is not really
slightly gliding along.
Right, exactly. It's not squeezing. Right,
okay.
yeah. I think that's
a little
amazing.
light touch.
Yeah,
tongue.
and sometimes I like a lot of sloppy because some women do it good, but I don't like when women give you hair and they make it pop at the end,
hits the back of their throat.
No, like pop, pop. Like they think the tip of your dick is like a Coca-Cola bottle. Like that's boring to me. Like bitch is not Coca-Cola.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah, that's to me.
So do you like gagging, spitting, slitting?
I like
all that?
sounds. I like to sit back, and I love women who can give head and put you to sleep. See, there's a myth in the universe. Women think that when they give a man head and he falls asleep, they didn't do a good job. But women, if you ever gave a man head and he went to sleep, you did a fucking excellent fucking job.
That is very true because
Yes.
I feel like so men and women, when you orgasm, it's different. When men orgasm really hard, they go to sleep. When I orgasm, I have the most energy. I want to fucking run a marathon. I'm like,
Right,
woo,
right.
talk
Yep,
to
it's
me, do all
different.
kinds of
Right,
things. And they're like,
right.
can we just come down? I'm like, no, what's
Right.
up? Yeah, totally
And see, and
different.
that also tells me when you do that, you didn't get your proper strokes.
Yes.
See,
but-
most women don't know this, and women don't know what I'm about to share with you. See, when a man has sex with a woman, he pulls his dick out. That makes it official. She deserves 750 strokes. Now, a lot of you women look around saying, fucking 750 strokes.
I had to think in my head,
I'm
like,
not-
man, how
I've
did
had 11. I may have 12, but not no fucking 750 strokes. Not no 750 strokes, you know? But what's the bad thing about it after 35? Most men lose 29 strokes a month.
I thought you were going to say after 35 strokes. I was like, man.
No,
that-
after 29, after 35, most men lose 29 strokes a month.
So
I'm
where are you
almost
at now?
60. I'm down to 9 strokes.
I like that. I wish I had a laughing one. That's all.
So that's why I wait when I meet women so the numbers roll back up.
I like that. I'll take that into consideration.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's go. Next one. Here we go.
Ace of club.
Clubs. We're kinky questions now.
Okay.
We're all a little kinky in all of them.
Okay.
You know, they get a little kinkier every time.
Yes.
What's the dirtiest thought that you've had about a stranger?
Eating your pussy.
Nice. Facts. You told me the truth. But how is that dirty?
It's not dirty, but it's dirty compared to the world if I just met you.
No, not really.
Well, yes, to the most
I
people.
sexually fantasize about strangers sometimes.
Have you thought about that with me?
I've thought about what it looked like, for
Okay,
sure.
you have.
I have.
Okay, that's beautiful because that means you was attracted to my mind.
I was.
I'm glad that you honest.
I did research, you know. I
Okay.
like
Yeah.
mind stimulation.
And that means you also becoming a woman. Did you know that?
Yeah, I mean, I have a little bit longer for the 36, but I'm almost there.
Yeah.
I'm coming for you.
Yep, I like that. Okay, I'm fucking with you.
All right, one. Let's go.
Ace of club.
Ace of clubs. Didn't we just do clubs?
You could just say.
I think you said the wrong.
Okay, I probably did.
Who knows? All right, we're gonna fuck it. We're going off the charts here.
Yep.
I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck
I like
want.
that. I like that.
What's the kinkiest, or where's the kinkiest place you've ever had sex?
That's a good question. It may not be kinky, but it felt powerful.
Okay.
I used to love fucking in my mother's bed.
Nice. That's a different one. Why do you feel powerful because of
Because
that?
when you're young, you're not paying bills, and I felt like when I was fucking this girl in the bed, I was
Like
I
that
was the boss.
King Kong ain't got shit
Yeah, I pay the bills. I pay the bills.
You just got me to snort. That's
I pay the bills.
Oh my God, I love that. I stayed away from my mother's bed. I thought it
Yeah,
was weird
that
territory. I
was-
didn't want anywhere to go in
I
that
will
room.
fuck on my mother's bed. I'll never forget it. And what was so funny, it's amazing about your parents, right? They knew when you have a woman in the house because your mother come in and she'd do that sniff. Who the fuck had a bitch in my house? Is that pussy I motherfucker smell? You 13, 14 years old hearing this from your mother. Oh, fucking hilarious.
Damn it, and she didn't know I was in her bed.
Yeah, and that's the one thing you didn't think about. The wet spot in beds at that young, you know, think
sucky,
about
sucky.
that, you know, and I think about that now. You don't think about that shit. Like if I knew this now compared to then, I'd have never fucked in my mother's
You put
bed.
a towel down, stop lying.
Yeah, because the wet, yeah.
You put a
I'm
towel
saying,
down, stop
but
lying.
imagine fucking in your mother's bed. You break up the bed. Your parents get
You
in
didn't
bed.
get a blow dryer? You didn't
What
go-
the fuck is this?
You should have blow dried that shit.
Now what the fuck?
That ain't mine.
Or having sex and your girl catch a period.
Yeah, then your mom's bed.
At 14, now you don't know nothing about switching. See, back in the day, what y'all got now compared to how we was, I'm gonna do this on my new act. See, back in the day, you could switch your mattress over. You can't switch your mattress over today. You fuck up a mattress, that's how that mattress is. You gotta get a whole new mattress. And back when we was growing up, you flip that motherfucker. Oh, and 2-3 years go by, you don't know that other side is fucked up. When that side get fucked up, you flip it. Oh, god damn it!
Now you gotta buy a new one.
Right, and it's embarrassing. You got your girl with you, changing mattresses, and stains on that What do? She looking at you like, you nasty motherfucker. And you like, I don't know how that got there.
Now it has a pillow top, so they flip it up on the outside, and then you know you're a real dirtbag.
Now you got to get the protector to cover the mattress, because the fucking mattress is $4,000 or $5,000.
That shit's expensive.
Yeah, it ain't no $59 mattress.
Last one.
Bam. Ace of Diamonds.
Okay, we're gonna do this.
Okay.
Do you like role playing in the bedroom?
No.
Never have. Never been.
No, I ain't got time. I'm taking it very seriously. My job
Strictly
is,
dickly.
Well, I am a concierge.
So you like to service your women?
I'm whatever you need. That's my job. And that's why I take my time to talk to a woman mentally, to make sure before we have sex we're connected, so that I'm not wasting good dick, because I think I fucked that good. So I try to tell men about DC. You know what DC is?
I don't.
It's called dick control.
Dick control. You hear that private talk.
Yeah, dick control is everything, meaning you got to know how to almost climax and then pull out, eat a pussy, put it back in.
So that's where like the age thing comes into play, because
I was like that when I was young.
Oh, so you've always been a finesser with the dick.
I've always been a finesser.
Always dick control.
Because when you broke, you have, broke men have some of the best dick in the world.
Why? Please explain the private.
I don't know what God did, but you ever see a broke guy get a rich girl, is because he fucked her so good. He may not have nothing to contribute.
Or he ate her pussy really good.
Right, and that's why I got the V in my lip for vagina. So everything, so I've been blessed in certain areas. So I learned to appreciate my body more, so I don't sling dick like I used to,
No dick slinging.
Yeah, no dick slinging.
See, that was quick, painless, and to the point. Thank you for playing Truth with Texas.
Yes, and I'm going to ask you, so I got to ask you some questions.
What do you want to ask me?
Okay, so Miss Texas, so are you a squirter?
I have known to be a squirter. I feel like it's also with the partner. I feel like only certain people have made me squirt, and I have only squirted through being fingered and not fucked.
Is that right?
Yes.
So you have never been a squirt of somebody eating your pussy?
No.
And you never been squirted
only
penetration?
By fingering, yes.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yes. That's the only time. And it was, the first time it happened, it was like very, you don't really know what to expect. So I can feel like once you do it, I feel like I know why certain girls probably will never do it, is because you hold back. Like it's like it feels like you almost have to pee so bad, but you just like let this like release.
Okay.
And then it happens. And it's like it's a mixture of like, your female ejaculate and a little bit of pee. So it's a mixture. But that's why women, I feel like, sometimes hold back their orgasms, because they are afraid to release and what will happen.
Right, because they don't know how that man is going to react.
Yeah, because it's like that wet spot. It's not just a wet spot. It's like a whole fucking like
you got to be mature
shampoo.
to handle
Like you're
that.
going to get, you're going to
I like sleeping in the wet spot.
zone.
I like a woman to know I'm that nigga.
See, I mean, for me, that the older I get to, I feel like for me, foreplay is a more of a sensual thing. So I like to have like, if you can make me come multiple times in foreplay, then I know the sex is going to be good. Because then it's like you're already mind fucking yourself, because you're already like intensifying what's already about to happen.
Do you get offended getting your toes sucked while you're having sex?
No, I have a foot fetish, so that's one of my favorite things.
Okay, because I like having my dick in a pussy and sucking a
That's my
one big
favorite.
toe.
We just became best friends.
Okay,
Look,
cool.
Best friends.
And can you come if you get your ass licked?
I can't I've never just gotten my ass licked and just came. Like someone wasn't just licking my ass and doing it. I think it had to be a plethora of things going on, and probably in a threesome situation.
Okay.
But not just because I'm like, hey, eat my ass and make me come. That's never happened.
And do you swallow?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Great.
I feel like if I work that hard, then I need to like receive what I.
Now, do you swallow, or you let it go in your mouth and then it comes down the side of your mouth, or you spit it back on your stomach?
That's the porno way. I like did that when I stopped doing movies. I stopped doing that a long time ago.
Okay.
But there has been times sometimes the men's cum is not that great, and you can definitely taste what they've eaten, which sounds really weird.
I tell men that.
And it's from like, if they have a really bad diet, it gets really salty and it's not good. And they tell you to drink pipineapple juice and all that stuff really works.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I send that out into the universe. That's so true.
But it is like, even if they drink, like a lot of men who drink a lot of beer, it's like really bitter.
Yes. Or smoke weed.
I haven't really got that. I smoke weed myself, so maybe I just like the The cum
Yeah, weed.
I don't know.
It's weed.
I don't really know if it even has a taste of that.
So you had a threesome before?
I have had multiple
Okay,
threesomes.
okay. And so multiple. Have you ever had a yeast infection?
I have had a yeast infection.
You ever had an
Have you
STD?
ever had a yeast infection?
No, never.
Guys can have them, that's why I asked you that.
No, have you ever had an STD?
I haven't had an STD.
I like your honesty.
I did.
And what did you get?
I think I definitely had gonorrhea and chlamydia when I first got in the business. The first time, wham, bam,
Did you know who it was?
I was a performer, so we had sex with multiple partners. So I used to work 5 times and do 5 scenes in a week. So back
How
in the day.
long ago was this? Because they test you now, right?
Well, we were tested then too, but the thing is back then. But the thing is this. So back when I first started, back in 1990, no, I was kidding. When I started when I was 21. So in the beginning, I forget, it's 2006. The testing terms were very different. So it was every 30 days.
Wow.
So that you had to have a valid test. But that means that I take a test today. Tomorrow I could go fuck you who doesn't have a test, you and all these people, and you're still validated because you have a test.
Yes.
So now, because there was a lot of things that were happening in the industry,
yes.
and like from crossovers to just regular things that people happening. So now it's a 14-day test. So it's
Good.
a shorter period of time.
That's good.
And then, so there are also the other factor is with myself, I was contracted before I stopped filming, and I was with Elegant Angel. And so I did 3-day tests, which I paid for myself.
Okay.
So I had my performer, I would have them test and I'd pay for it. And then I knew it was the cleanest
No.
test possible that you could possibly do. But back in the day, I mean, you were doing, some people, there was so much porn out there. People were shooting 2 or 3 times a day.
Man, so here's my question. So when you got tested every 14 days, the production company pay for the doctor?
No.
Oh, you had to pay for it.
So the performer has to pay for it. Nowadays, you get some kind of like feedback, maybe $50 or something. I'm not really sure because I stopped performing when that all came back.
Yes.
Or that came into place. But no, you pay for it out of your pocket.
Okay. Now, what do men take to keep their erections hard?
They either take Viagra, Cialis, or they shoot their dick up with some kind of something. That
Okay, so they do shoot up.
There are people that do it.
Yes,
There is
yes.
also people that have a fucking a penis pump. There's all kinds of things. That's the thing is like people forget that, it is entertainment, and so it's not like fucking at home. It's like you're shooting, like I call it like we're sexual athletes.
Yes.
So it's like you're fucking for at least 2 hours, and you have
Yes.
to stay hard. There's camera people, there's lights, there's a lot of things you're opening up. It's not a natural like feeling. So to be hard for that long is,
Because I used to always want to be, I think I called it penis envy.
Okay.
Like I'm well endowed, but I always wanted my shit to be like a brick, knock a motherfucker off. Like,
you want to be girthy like that, or you want to just be strong and powerful?
Just
like
strong
that?
and powerful like that, And it's amazing to be my age. I'm not on no medication. I don't have high blood pressure. I'm still amazing. But I used to always wanted to be like how this pole is like that shit was always amazing to me. But
like
that's like my head asked that question. Yeah, I normally do that at that fuck.
Yeah.
Like I normally stand up a woman and I go da 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 da, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Bitch, shut up, I'm Superman.
Dickmatized.
Da 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 da.
You're a dick superhero. I like it.
That's right.
I like it. So is there anything else you would like to ask?
Will you go out with me?
Will I go out with you? You told me like...
Now would you go out with me after hearing me talk to you?
I think I would go out with you in a setting, and the fact that you said that I have to feel that threatened, and that it could be anything as far as being a friendship or a
because
good
here's
conversation.
Because I'm teaching you something at the same time. Here again, remember, see, sometimes you talk too much.
I always talk too much. That's why I have a podcast.
Yes,
I talk too much.
Sometimes you have to listen.
I don't like to listen very much.
Most men, and I'm going to share a story, because most men ask someone out, they automatically think that person want to date you.
But that's what I just said. It doesn't have. Now you've taught me.
Thank you.
That
that's
it's
right.
not just that. So I said I would say
because I like people.
Because me too. I like to be mind stimulated, and I also feel like when you put yourself around other people, it elevates your mind as well.
Because I'm into teaching. That's how Frenchie met me. I didn't know Frenchie was checking me out, and he reached out to some people, and they reached out to me. And what's been going on these last 4 years is that people are recognizing not just the stand-up comedy of me, my mindset, because I see the world differently. I explain things differently. And that's like I'm glad in this time that we talk that you see, because I asked you out, doesn't mean I'm trying to holler at you. I'm asking you out because I find you an interesting person. I would like to keep in touch with you.
And you want to see what I'm like when I'm 40.
We may not even go out. We may not go out to the year 2023. But the point is that we establish a friendship, and that's what's important. And that's what I do. I'm not trying to hit on anybody.
Well, I
just like a
appreciate you. I
gentleman.
appreciate your honesty.
Yeah,
and
I'm a gentleman.
For me, as much as I talk, I'm not afraid to know when I don't know everything, and I like to be educated on things as well. Is because I want to better myself as a person. I also know that I do sometimes not listen, but it's not because I'm not listening to not hear what you're saying. It's because I just talk a lot.
Yes. Hilarious.
But it comes from a good place. But I'm happy that you came on my podcast. I have one last question before I let you go.
Absolutely.
What is the funniest movie that you've watched?
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber is your all-time favorite?
Oh, my God.
You can watch it on repeat.
Dumb and Dumber, for sure.
I like
Dumb and Dumber was, especially the scene when he asked the young lady out, and she says, I don't think so. And he says, so you say I have a shot.
You live by that motto now, huh?
That shit is hilarious. He said, so you're saying I have a shot. Wow. That's amazing to me.
I like that. Well, thank you again for coming on. Tell my Private Talk listeners where we could find you, where they can listen to your podcast. Yes. Let us know.
First, let's promote the special, the Who Raised You special, which is #1 in the world. If you're into real stand-up comedy, I think that you'll be a fan. It's on Amazon Prime. It's called Who Raised You, the TK Kirkland Show. Listen to my podcast every Monday, every new episode every week. The TK Kirkland podcast. Subscribe. It's free on iCloud, iTunes, Tidal, and something else. And you can also follow me on Instagram at TK_Kirkland, like the water at Costco's. KIRKLAND. And for people who understand relationships, if you did not see the mental connection that me and Texas caught, then you don't really know about men and women, because our conversation was so cold that I'm captivated by her and she's captivated by me, and that's a beautiful thing.
You heard it here, Private Talk Podcast. You have me tongue-tied now. Private Talk Podcast. I hope you've enjoyed this interview. I hope that you guys get some new merch. We just launched our merch website. It's privatetalkmerch.com. So make sure you go there, get some t-shirts just like the one I'm wearing right now. Support your favorite big booty, and also subscribe and like to our channel. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I can't wait to see you guys again.
Thank you, beautiful.
I'm so sorry I can't be with you tonight. However, I couldn't completely miss the chance to take a moment to share some thoughts with all of you. The lesson I cherish the most is how important it is to love what you do. If you love what you do and it's making you happy, all the hard work and perseverance will pay off. I once had a guidance counselor tell me that I shouldn't play basketball, that it would never amount to anything for me. His negativity towards me made me stronger. You can't stop people from trying to limit your dreams, but you can stop it from becoming a reality. Your dreams are up to you. I encourage you to always be curious, always seek out things you love, and always work hard once you find it. So with that, I'll let you carry on with your evening. Please know I'm thinking of you, supporting you, and encouraging you always. Peace.